My name is Ted Smith, and this video is part of a series that we're making about Hempology 101, the history and uses of cannabis sativa. If you want to find out more about our work, you can check out hempology.ca. I publish a newspaper, the Cannabis Digest. You can check that out online as well, and we have daily blogs even for that. But today's talk is going to be about alchemy and the Middle Ages, or Dark Ages even, during which time cannabis was used, but it's not very well documented, and it wasn't used in a widespread manner, certainly throughout Western society. And so when it was being used, it was predominantly being used for hemp. It wasn't being used for medicine or spiritual purposes for the most part in Western society at all, with a few exceptions, because the knowledge of these sacred plant drugs was kept and passed from generation to generation amongst what we would now refer to as alchemists, or in some cases witches. And I'll get to some of these issues in the chapter of Prohibition, which is a little ways on. But certainly there's some documentation of its use not only as hemp. Apparently it was used a lot as food, like gruel. What we know of historically as gruel is actually hemp seed cooked up into food. And it's thought that a lot of monks were able to be healthier because they ate so much of it. In some cases, during very poor times, they ate gruel, basically hemp seed porridge, 3 times a day. But because hemp seed is such good protein and such, it actually kept them healthier. And the monks were actually better at fighting off disease and living longer than the general population, in large part because of their use of hemp, although they would say it's because they prayed so much. One of these monks, Benedictine monk, Francois Rabelais, wrote about hemp. He was around in the early 1500s. He wrote a couple of books. They were, Gargantua and Pantagruel were these giants who were the main characters who would, use hemp in all sorts of fashions and discuss it, because it was used for rope, which was very important for buildings and sailing, and was used in cloth, like canvas. The root word is cannabis, so we'll get into some of those things later. But certainly in his books, Rabelais talked quite a bit about the various uses of hemp, never really naming the plant though, just leaving it quite vague. In fact, most alchemists were quite vague in their descriptions of things, because if they were more pointed about it, then they'd be killed or otherwise excommunicated, or so they had to write things in codes. So there's a lot of ancient works, pictures and poems and things where the true meaning is hidden, because, and I'll get to this in the chapter on Prohibition, if it was outright stated, people would be killed or their possessions taken or other horrific things happen to them. And so, there's certain pieces that we can find. There's some archaeological evidence of the use of hemp, certainly throughout the Middle and the Dark Ages, but it's very scattered and very little. If you want to find out more, check out hempology.ca. Again, there's a series of videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. More to come. Hempology 101.